Hey everybody, it's your girl Tonya Kitsune. Yeah, I stole Diamond Ash's thing again. But anyways, in today's video, we're going to jump into trans memes and react to some trans memes. So let's jump into the video now. So it's like person, he, me, she. Well, on your birth certificate, yeah, it also says 7 pounds, 12 ounces. A lot has changed since then. And like a lot of people are like, what were you what were you born as? And I was like, I was born as a baby. And obviously I'm not a baby anymore either, so just because it says it on my birth certificate doesn't mean that's who I still am as a person. Okay, so like this picture is of a person, they're like, what if I'm faking it? And actually that reminds me of something that One Topic always says in his videos, where he says, if you think you're trans or non-binary or gender non-conforming, you probably are. And that if you think you're faking it, you're probably not. So don't worry about that. You're probably not faking it. Because like he says, I agree with that, And this one, it's like the trans ally leaving people's body when the trans person has a mental illness. And yeah, they think it's totally okay to misgender somebody or dead name someone if, they're problematic. Like, they're like, oh, well, they're problematic, so I'm not going to, properly gender them or be an ally anymore. It's like, it's gone now. It's also when it comes to politics, when it comes to us trans people, or, anybody of the LGBTQI community, we're only good when it comes to, getting votes. Then all of a sudden, when they can't get voted by supporting the LGBTQI community, all of a sudden, they're no longer allies. I'm looking at you, Gavin Newsom. So it's a Lord of the Rings meme and photos like, you're late. And then it's like the trans flag over Gandalf, space, and it's like, a transition is never late, Frodo Baggins, nor is it early. It arrives precisely when it means to. And that's true. Like, it doesn't matter what age that you find out you're trans and start transitioning. Even if you're not able to transition, finally when you do transition, that's exactly when you were meant to transition. And that's my opinion. Like, I didn't realize I was trans until like my mid-30s. So yeah, it's never too late. And there's people that are in their 70s and 80s, 60s and 50s that are just finding out their identity. It's never too late to discover the true you. So this one's like, a world without trans people has never existed and never will. And that's true. We may have not always had the terminology to classify it as that, but trans people have always existed. For instance, an example I always use is Emperor Eglibus is one of that example. They were assigned male at birth, but liked to refer to themselves as lady and she and her. And there was this one doctor, I think during the Civil War, that was a trans man. There's multiple examples throughout history and different cultures of people that are trans or gender non-conforming. And you know what? I'll put it on the screen of some examples through history of trans people. So it's not something new. It's not, some woke ideology or whatever it is that transphobes try to throw out there. So this person tweeted, they're like, I'm not going to come out. I'm just going to start tea and gaslight my whole family into thinking I was always a cis man. Oh my God, that is brilliant. I mean, I'm about to tell my one friend she's not out yet. She's pre-everything. And I'm about to tell her, girl, what you should do is just gaslight everyone into thinking you were a cis woman the whole time. Be like, what are you talking about? I've always looked like this. Anyone else notice how literally nobody has ever said you don't need HRT to be trans outside of discussions about denial of trans health care? It is your sacred duty to call these people feds and ostracize them from all communities forever. And yeah, and you know what? If you want to know some places where you can, go to, the Democratic Socialists of America is well known for fighting for trans rights, and they have a statement on, their trans rights and bodily autonomy statement, and I'll leave the link in the description bar and of course on the screen at one point as well. And their statement is as follows. DSA's Trans Rights and Bodily Autonomy Campaign Commission is the largest hub for grassroots trans rights organizing in America. In a political climate characterized by fear and isolation, we bring courage. Courage. in our democratic socialist convictions. Organizing politically is how we win power. On their page, they have a trans sanctuary city toolkit, a labor toolkit, and of course, they also have their 2025 TRBA consensus resolution with dozens of chapters running legislative and pressure campaigns for trans rights. Now is the time for the DSA to invest in TRBA. So yeah, they're really supportive of trans rights, and there's, stuff on their page where you can get politically active and support trans rights. They're one of the few, organizations politically fighting for trans rights and haven't thrown trans people under the bus like the Democrat, the main establishment of the Democratic Party like they have. And like the main goal of the DSA, Democratic Socialists of America, is to work within the Democratic Party and try to push it further to the left. And of course, if that doesn't succeed, to create a legitimate, viable third option where people don't have to vote Democrat or Republican. So visit the links in the description bar down below to find out more information. And so this is like a little comic strip thingy, if you will. And it's like the other day I saw Girl Scouts selling cookies. I thought about how I'd like to have been part of the Girl Scouts, let alone the option to be a part of it as a kid. And then it's like, I often think about what I missed growing up wrong, how growing up neglected. Sure, I did ballet, but maybe it just made me feel worse being the only one in dance school not in a tutu. Maybe if I had been born the way I'd wish I'd have, no childhood to mourn, but I probably still would have been neglected or in everything else. And then it continues, maybe nothing would have been different if I could have been in Girl Scouts. Maybe nothing would have been different if I was assigned female at birth and cis. I just wouldn't be trans and wouldn't be where I am in life or know all the people I care about and love. Yo, can I get some peanut butter ones? I actually like the Thin Mint ones. Those are actually my favorite Girl Scout cookies. And what's great about, supporting the Girl Scouts is Girl Scouts actually support the trans community. So that's always a good thing, if you will. So yeah, support your local Girl Scouts. Alright, so this one's like, your pronouns are she, her, but you sound like a he, him. The thing is I don't even know why people say that. They're like, oh, you sound like a he, him. There's plenty of cis women that have deep, voices that some people would classify as masculine. Like there's the actress, and I'll put her name on the screen, but there's the actress that was in the Amazon hit series, The Expanse, and she has a deep voice, and people love the shit out of her. So don't worry if other people are like, you sound like a he, him, but you say you're a she, her. Don't worry about it. There's plenty of cis women that have, deep voices. And so this first part's like, I follow women followed you. And then the person's like, I didn't know I was a girl. And then like later on, they're like, guess what? Yeah, I've had that kind of experience before. Not like where somebody followed me and said, I only follow women or something like that. But there was this girl that had a crush on me in high school, but she was a lesbian, and she was like, I don't understand why I got a crush on you, because, I only have crushes, I'm a lesbian, and so makes no sense that I would have a crush on somebody that wasn't a woman. Well, guess what? Yeah. So I get this one. I like this meme. Alright, so this one's like, Robert De Niro says, I love and supported Aaron as my son, and now I love and support Erin as my daughter. I don't know what the big deal is. He said after his child publicly came out as transgender and began hormone replacement therapy. In her first public interview, she said seeing trans women openly sharing their stories online helped her realize it wasn't too late to live authentically. There's a difference between being visible and being seen. I've been visible, but I don't think I've been seen yet. And then she shared that Black women have had a major influence on her journey, helping her embrace both her identity and pride in her heritage. And oh my God, if you look at the picture, that's beautiful. Her transition is going really well for her. Girl, you are gorgeous. Don't let any of the bigots tell you otherwise. And you got a supportive daddy. Not many of us get that, so that's awesome. Alright, so this seems to be like a computer for to ring people up and stuff, and it's like void trans, suspend trans discount. No, don't void me. Don't like send me into the void. Don't send me into like the shadow realm like this was Yu-Gi-Oh or something. And don't suspend me. I'm not in school anymore. But give me the discount. I want the trans discount. I didn't know there was such a thing, but I would definitely take the trans discount. Can I have that? Because I don't want to go into the shadow realm. And this one is so true. It's like none of the problems in your life are because trans people exist. But lots of the problems in your life are because billionaires exist. Not getting paid that well at your job? That's because billionaires made sure of that. They exploit your wealth. So yeah. It's not because of trans people. That's not your issue. Don't like the war in Iran? That's not trans people. That's billionaires. And, the asshole in Israel. So, yeah, most of your problems are because of the capitalistic parasitic class that keeps on and taking advantage of you and exploiting you to maximize their profits while you can't even have control of your production of your product or service that you are providing. And meanwhile, the capitalist class exploits you as a working class individual in order to maximize their profits when they didn't even produce that good or service. You did. Not them. So yeah, none of those problems that you have in your life is because of trans people at all. And so this means like when somebody gives me the button test and I'm like, where's the butt? Oh, I know these ones. It's like, you get $1 million, but you become the opposite gender, and it's like, before people realize, that they are that so-called opposite gender, and it's not the opposite, you're like, okay, so where's the but? It's like, you get $1 million, but you become a girl, and if you're a trans woman, you're like, okay, cool, because I am one. Or, vice versa for trans men or non-binary people. But yeah, the point is you're like, where's the but? Like, that's what I want. So I get the $1 million and I get to be the gender that I am. Okay, cool. So it's transphobes be like, debate your existence with me. Nah, see, they're clearly faking it. Nah, we're just tired of debating our existence. Like, it's not our fault that, your knowledge of biology didn't evolve past 5th grade. It's not our fault that you just refuse to listen to science. I mean, we're not going to take advice from a group of people that don't believe in global climate change. Because majority of the people that are transphobes are people on the right. And not only are they on the right, but they don't even understand global climate change. So it's like, girl, you don't even understand that. So I'm not going to sit here and explain to you my existence. Or explain to you the complicatedness of biology. And they're like, well, it doesn't exist in nature. Actually, it does. Look up clownfish, bitch. Great. It's Nancy Mace. A few years ago, she was supposed to be pro-LGBT, but now that it's profitable and, it makes her more electable to not be, she's just all of a sudden magically anti-LGBT. With allies like that, who needs enemies? But it's like, Nancy Mace, like, what is a woman? Have you learned that lesson? And Waltz is like, I'm the governor of Minnesota. I'm not here to be a prop for your obsession. Because, yeah, she's obsessed with us. Girl, I don't know why you're obsessed with us, but you are obsessed with us, honey. And see, the thing is the transphobes can't define what a woman is either. Because you're like, what is a woman? And they're like, XY chromosomes. It's like, did you know that chromosomes weren't discovered until like the 1800s? So how did people define women before chromosomes, before they knew they existed? And they're like, well, people that are able to have babies are women. Not all women are able to have babies, though. Like, are they not women just because they don't have the ability to procreate? They just don't even have a definition of what a woman is either. So who gives a shit what they think a woman is? It's like, take your bigotry and shove it up your fucking ass. And this meme is like, trans troops being forced out of the military. It's like, ew. Before World War III starts, like, yeah. It's like, yeah, that's actually good. It's like, because now, trans people and non-binary people and gender non-conforming people, since they were kicked out of the military, they don't have to go fight, Donald Trump's stupid little war against Iran, who, Iran didn't do anything to the United States. But, since Israel, since Daddy, Benjamin Netanyahu, or whatever, however you pronounce his name, came to Trump and said, hey, baby boy, why don't you go to war with Iran for me? Because I want all of the Middle East, and because your Bible says so, it has to be the thing that we have to do. Fuck that shit. But, it's like, cool. Now, trans people and gender nonconforming people don't have to go and fight that stupid, senseless war. No more wars. That's what I have to say. Why we're on this topic. I know it's not pertaining to the video, but here at Crazy Like a Fox Studios, we all believe in no more wars. There's no point. There's no reason to. Wars are started by the dominant social economic class, and always the poor is sent off to die and fight, so the rich can get richer and they can exploit the people to maximize their profits, to maximize their land, to maximize their control. That's all war is about. So the high elite people can get more and more control over the working class. So this meme's like the right, getting better health care, fixing the economy, stopping wars, imprisoning pedophiles. Like, no. Because, we're being ran by a pedophile, so we don't want that. And then it has the right with, experimenting on and torturing trans people in prisons. Where they don't just like torturing trans people. I mean, they love doing that. But, the right also likes torturing immigrants and torturing women and torturing anybody that's not a cis, white, heterosexual man. They love the shit out of that. That's their bread and butter. Because, we could have better health care. We could have universal health care system, universal child care, and universal basic income, and all kinds of other shit. But why do that when you can torture the people that you don't like? And that's what the right is all about. So this one's like, tomfoolery actually transition and only does shenanigans now. I don't get real. I'm serious right now. It was hijinks, but now they're hurjinks. These are mom jokes. LOL. Yeah, they were dad's, but she likes it better this way. So this little comic strip is like, just water for you? And the girl's like, oh, I'm just taking my meds. You're what? My antibiotics. I like that one. That one's clever. Okay, so this one's like me finding a legendary weapon in New Vegas in 2018. And it shows a guy, right? And it goes, me finding a legendary weapon in New Vegas in 2026. And it's a girl, because it's like, when I first played the game, I thought I was a cis man. But after playing it, I discovered myself, and I'm a trans woman. And I've heard this stereotype. Like, usually the stereotype for trans women is our favorite game is Fallout New Vegas. We have programming socks and know how to program. And we drink the white Monster energy drinks. I personally like the Mango Loca. I think that's what it's called. The Mango Loca. Whatever that monster's called. That's actually my favorite. And a lot of Mountain Dew. Like, I'm a Mountain Dew girl. I'm a Mountain Dew-holic. My girl would tell you that she would be like, that bitch Tonya drinks way too much Mountain Dew. And if you would have cut her open, she would bleed Mountain Dew. All right, so this meme is like, why misgender people when you can shut up and eat pizza? I know, right? Like, there's pizza, there's tacos, there's burritos, there's chimichangas. Why misgender people when you could just shut up and eat those things? And it goes, you know what? People who misgender others on purpose don't get pizza. It's like, no pizzas for transphobes. So sorry, J.K. Rowling and Joe Rogan. No pizza for you, bitch. You touch the pizza and we're going to ground you and send you to your rooms. No pizza for transphobes. That's for ours now, fuckers. Alright, so this one, there's a trans femme in a trans mask, and it's like, oh my god, don't use duct tape for that. And then the girl's like, why would you use duct tape to hold hands? Wait, I'm a fucking idiot. Yes, don't use duct tape for it. If you know, you know. You should not use duct tape to hold certain particular parts down. That's gonna hurt like hell. So this one's like, the fun part about the Finding Nemo movie is that Marlin changed sex right after Coral died and nobody knew. Everyone kept treating her like a male clownfish, like most trans-coded fish ever. And it's, that's true, because I don't know if you guys know this, but clownfish, when one of them dies, the fish will change genders. So in the movie Finding Nemo, after the wife died, Marlin would have changed and would have become a female clownfish. So yeah, there's a fact for you. Clownfish can change genders. So that's all we have time for this video today. Tell me in the comment section of what you thought of any of this content that was shown in this video. We'd love to hear your feedback. Check the description bar down below. We're going to have the links that I was talking about and the usual stuff as well. I've decided I'm not going to be the one to edit this one because I don't think I'm going to have time for it now after I'm done recording. So Kai's going to probably edit this for me. But anyways, if you like this kind of content and you want to see more of it, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell to be notified of future videos. So hit that subscribe button if you want to join the Fox Den, which, that's what we're going to call, our subscribers. So if you want to become part of the den, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell to be notified of future videos. Anyways, thank you for watching. I've been your host, Tonya Kitsune. We'll see you in the next video.
We are every single star, still here. Trans women, trans men, non-binary and free, still here. You can legislate the document, but you can't legislate me, still here. SB 14442, weapons in one bill, double barrel, double threat. Invalidate the IDs, then ban the bathrooms, make them sweat. Now any stranger on the street can sue a trans person for $1,000 fee, just for suspecting, just for looking. That's a bounty hunter regime. Use the restroom twice in the wrong place. That's a civil